Assalamualaikum students. I hope you're all doing well. Today is my second lecture with you related to improving writing skills. As I told you in my first lecture that I will give you more lectures on improving writing skills because writing skill is a complex process. If you want to learn and you want to be improved in a writing skill, you have to do regular practice and you should know different rules related to grammar, relating to your sentence. Writing skill is very important to be a writer, to be a good writer. And if you want to write something, you want to create something, you have to be efficient, you should be improved in your writing skill. And to learn any skill, you need daily or routine regular practice. With regular practice, you should also know about different rules of grammar and you should be enriched in grammar, in vocabulary, and you should have knowledge related to. So, we have three basic steps to improve writing skills. If you don't know these basic knowledge about these basic steps, you can watch my first video with my first lecture. This is our second lecture. So, in our second lecture, I will directly move toward our second point, which is sentence structure. But first of all, I will tell you that to improve your writing skill, you need to improve your vocabulary too. This is our very basic and first step. And I have covered this first step with you already in my different videos. After my first lecture, I shared different videos related to vocabulary. You can watch too. Okay, now we will move toward our second step, which is to know about the sentence structure. Sentence structure is very important in writing skill. So, to know about the sentence structure, first of all, we should know what is a sentence. Related to sentence structure, that is, what is a sentence? So, sentence is the group of words. You can see here on this slide, I have written this. You can make notes, you can download these presentations. So, a group of words is called a sentence, and just a group of words. So we can join different words to make a sentence? No, this is not correct. That group of words which makes complete sense, those words which make complete sense, that is a sentence. If we just make a group of words without any sense, this is not a complete sentence because sentence should convey our message to others. A sentence is that with the help of a sentence, we are conveying our message. With the help of a sentence, we are making some senses. We are writing something for our readers. So, what is a sentence? A group of words that makes a complete sentence. So, let's move next. What is a sentence structure? This is our basic point for today. In our second lecture, we will get a basic knowledge about the sentence structure. The basic structure, very basic structure, without any grammatical rule, without any understanding of a complex words. We will simply start with the basic structure of a sentence. So in a basic structure we have three different things. That is, first one is the subject, second one is the verb, and third one is the object. Okay, we have three steps in a sentence. We have these three words, grammatical words, which will make a complete sentence. Okay, and by joining these things, when we will join a subject with a verb and a verb with the object, then we can convey our complete message with a sense. So let's look at the example. Okay, With the help of the example we can be very clear about what we are talking. Okay, means you are the beginner of learning the writing skill, and beginner cannot understand the grammatical rules and grammatical verbs. So with the help of examples you can be clear about what is this, what is a subject, what is a verb, and what is the object. I will share the definitions of these grammatical words too. Okay, what is a subject? Subject is that which is doing a verb. Okay, the name of a person. You can also say that a noun which is doing some work. Okay, subject is the student. Here we have a sentence: students write notes. Okay, in this sentence, what is the subject? Students, because students is doing something. Okay, students are doing something. So here in this sentence, where is the subject? Subject is students, because students are doing work. So students are subject, and that work, that action which is done in this sentence, that is the verb. So write is the verb. Subject, verb, and object is what? On which the work is done. That thing on which we are doing something. So notes is object. If I will say that I am using a computer. I am is the subject, using is the verb, and computer is the object, because on computer I'm doing some work. So computer is the object. Hope you are getting my point. Okay, moving toward our next step. We understood that what is a sentence and how we can make a sentence with the basic structure. The next point is that how we can come to know that our sentence is correct. So you need to test your sentence. And to test your sentence by yourself, these are the six main points which are very important. You should keep in mind what, when, who, where, why, and which. At least two things you have to cover in your sentence. Okay? For example, in one sentence, we're talking about who is doing something and what is doing. Okay? What he is doing something. Like in our previous example, students write notes. In this example, we will see that student is who, and write notes. What they are doing? Write notes. So we covered at least 2 points, two questions: who and what. Okay, we are not covering when, why, where, but at least two questions are covered in this sentence, so our sentence is correct. So, to test your sentence, you need to keep in your mind that at least two questions should be covered. Okay, moving our next examples. To be clear, in your learning, in anything you are learning, to be clear, you need examples. Examples are very important to learn something. So, now we will have a look on some examples. Here is the first example. He has learned his homework. Here in this example, we will not look at the complex words like has, his. We will not go to detail. We will just look at the subject, verb, and object. He is the subject, learn is the verb, and homework is the object. So this is the basic structure of a sentence. We have this sentence as an example. Now, if we will separate this sentence in two parts, and two parts, when we will separate, we will divide a sentence in two parts. This makes clauses. In our next lesson, inshallah, we will do a complete lecture on clauses and other points. Okay, we will cover in our next lesson some lectures, some details, some explanation on clauses and other points. If we will separate this sentence in two parts, he has what, who, the question who is done in this part. He has, who is he, but what, why, when, there, nothing is here. So this is not a complete sentence, because we are not getting any message, any sense. Learned his homework. When we will join this, then we have a complete sense. He has what? Learned his homework. So who and what is covered in this sentence? So we have our complete sentence with a complete sense. Okay, let's look at the next example. I'll not give you more examples. You can also concern other notes and you can also make research. Okay, look at the next example. He plays. Why I'm giving you this example? Because my purpose is to tell you that there is no need to join more than two words, a lot of words, three to four words, seven to eight words. In fact, by joining two words just, we can also complete our sentence. But there are some different types of sentences. This depends on the types of sentences. So we will discuss in our next lesson the types of sentences too. He plays. He is who and plays what he is doing. So who and what is covered in just two words. So if we will separate this, he plays, subject and verb. Plays is the verb because this is the action and he is the subject. We will separate these two words. These are just word, not a sentence. But by joining just two words, we can also completely convey our sense. So by joining two words just, we can also convey our message to others. So by joining two words, you can make a sentence too. And how you can come to know that this is the complete sentence? You will say that there is no any object, then how this is the complete sentence? So this is another lecture on some clauses, because we have two clauses in a sentence. One is dependent and second one is the independent, and we will go further in detail related to clauses too, because you should now, if you want to learn sentence structure, then you need to learn about clauses too, because with the help of dependent clause just, half of the part of the sentence, we can also convey our message like this. And sometimes we need other part of a sentence to convey our message like this. So this is dependent, this is not independent part. Okay. Okay, that's all for this lecture. And in our next lesson, inshallah, we will discuss more questions and we will discuss more with more examples, with more practices, and we will cover some more questions like what is meant by clauses of a sentence. And the second would be how many clauses do we have in a sentence and what are the types of sentences. Inshallah, in our next lesson, I will try to cover all these questions and we will meet in our next lesson, inshallah. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.